Maybe like that.
Well,
better,
according
maybe?
to no, you're still ugly.
Yeah.
Remember, there's quite a bit of lag between you and me and the caller, right? Just
Right.
kind of
Yep.
giving you a reminder.
Yep.
All right, we are live. So, hey, everybody, this is Aaron Bennett with Hack Nation Live. Oh, that echo's terrible, Charlie.
Mine?
But yeah, because it goes back through your loop for some reason.
Dude, should I try unplugging this mic? Or is that going to fuck
Yeah.
everything up?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, it's undone. Is that any better?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. Anyway, guys, this is Aaron with Hack Nation Live. I'm your host, Aaron, obviously. Tonight we got Charlie from Pure Diesel Repair on here. I know we're quite a bit late. We had to wait on Charlie, so.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just kidding. We had a bunch of technical difficulties. We are up and running now. I see a lot of commenters already. A lot of people wondering what the hell happened to us. We just couldn't hear Charlie was the problem, but we got it now. Again, guys, like always, this is a call-in show. I think the call center's working. If you want to call in to be a part of the show, the number is 573-422-4225. That's 573-422-4225. I did hang up and I had to call it back, and so I think it's working. I think all systems are running properly. Somebody said we could be waiting until next Wednesday. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. It was a Roadcaster problem. Our, control panel here just wouldn't let us hear Charlie.
I can hear everything.
My
good
buddy
now.
came. Yeah, I can hear you great as well. And you've cleared up too. I can see you really well.
Good.
I had to pay my bill with Elon, but seems to be working.
I don't know what I did, but I got you pulled up on Facebook and YouTube, and my Facebook comments are all in Spanish, so I'm not going to be able to read those.
Oh, that's where most of the good stuff happens. You gotta love Facebook, where you can say whatever you want. I mean, it used to be the other way around. You couldn't say anything on Facebook without getting banned, but now you can say anything you want over there. And if you can't even fart funny on TikTok and you get banned.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, I would ask what you've been up to, but I kind of watch your videos, so I kind of already know. That's quite the peculiar build you're doing there. That brown engine.
Yeah.
You always have had a.
This big cam right here. This is pretty nice.
Yeah, you've always had a gift for putting a lipstick on your pigs, so to speak.
Yeah, I appreciate
it. I don't mean that in a negative way. I also applied a few coatings of lipstick as well, but you've always just had a flair for making them pop. I can certainly appreciate it.
Right on, thanks, man.
Yeah, that's an odd color scheme, but it fits really well. I like it.
Yeah,
it's that last one Excalibur did. That one looks pretty good too.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw that one. That one looked pretty good. It's fun. It's fun to watch everybody get creative and all that.
Yeah,
but my painting is being confined to coating shit these days.
Yeah. Dude. Got a fly bugging me.
If anybody tries to call in, you can't get in, let me know. We think the phone line's working. If it's not, I'll have to reset it. But the number to call in is 573-422-4225. Lewis says 2006 Cat C15 have low idle. At a low idle, it misses at low. Sorry, I'm having to decipher the great English here. At a low idle, it misses, and it does smoke sometimes when it's missing. Does it on the pedal and cruise? So I'm stuck on a weak injector or electrical ?
and it's just low idle is the symptom, or a miss on a low idle is the symptom.
Yeah, and it'll smoke some too.
Has he done like valve adjustments and everything? Made sure that cylinder has full compression, because
I
that
don't know.
happens.
He didn't call in. He's just a question on the internet there. I'm just trying to get some conversation going because nobody wants to call in. I'm still wondering if I mean, this is the longest we've ever gone without callers. So, but anyway, guys, if you're watching on TikTok, we appreciate you. I'm going to try and operate the headset to where the TikTok listeners can also hear the caller if any callers do call in. But that doesn't make you able to hear Charlie. So if you want to hear Charlie, which I'm assuming you do, go on over and watch this on TikTok, or I mean on Facebook or YouTube. Over there, you can hear the caller better. You can hear Charlie. You can see what he's got to say. It's a way better platform for what we're doing here, especially if I have a guest. If I don't have a guest, it kind of doesn't matter. I can just manipulate the roadcaster and kind of have the headset broadcast the listener or the caller to the people listening on TikTok. But I can't do that with Charlie. So if you really want to get the whole picture of what's going on here, you need to go over to Facebook, YouTube, watch it over there. And he said, yes, I've had the injector test done and overhead ran, no compression test yet. So if you've had an injector test done and you didn't come up with any negative or any bad injectors, but you have a miss at a low idle and a little bit of smoke, I mean, that kind of begs a valve train problem, doesn't it?
Yep. Or that cylinder has low compression. I've run into that a few times, and that could be a valve cracked open just a little tiny bit. If that cylinder is low on compression, once you rev it up and you get your idle higher, your cylinder temperature also comes up, and then it will fire. I've had them just miss on an idle before, multiple times.
And we do have a caller, so I do know the call line is working, so that's good. Guys, it's 573-422-4225. If you remember, Charlie, a little while ago, it's I don't know, maybe a month or two ago, I called you, and I just had an engine that didn't matter how many injectors we threw at it, it just kept having the same problem. I mean, it seemed like the injector would fix the problem for a couple of weeks. Yep, that SDP. Yep. So you do remember. Did I ever tell you what that ended up being?
Yeah, the valve was stuck open or cracked open.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had a drop valve. Yep. Yep. The valve wasn't closing all the way.
Yeah, same thing. That's what. Yep.
I'd like. Yeah. So somebody just asked. This is kind of funny, because this is ironically, this is one of the most common questions I get asked. And somebody said, "I'd like to know if you rebuild 3208s." I'm sure people ask you that, Charlie. People ask me that all the time. And the reason I think it's funny is because I don't believe that anybody actually has one that they're interested in having rebuilt. They just want to know if I've ever built one. Right?
Yeah. You never see them. We never see them up here.
No. I mean, we don't work in a field where they're in any application that we come across. It just is what it is. You know.
Yeah.
What about the valve guide seals? I seriously doubt your valve guide seals. Well, your valve guide seals aren't going to have you missing and stuff like that.
The valve seats, if that's what he's wondering. If the valve seats are cracked or worn out, you would have the same symptom as a bent valve or a stuck valve or a drop valve. It would just be low compression on that cylinder.
Yep. Man, fucking internet. You ready to take a caller? See if we can get this rolling a little bit.
Yep.
All right, let's go. All right, brother, you're on the air. What can we do for you? You're on the air. What can we do for you? You're not. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't
The
hear him.
show's turning out to be a little odd all the way around. No, they're hello, you're on the air.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me this time?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I got you loud and clear. Can you hear him, Charlie?
Yep.
I don't know what happened there. My bad.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are we still here? Or?
Yeah, we're waiting on you to talk, brother. What do you got going? What can we help you with?
Oh, okay. My bad. Well, I was just kind of curious. Uh, I just replaced an oil cooker on my pack, and I'm curious as to what would cause one to fail with no symptoms whatsoever besides overheating oil. I had no oil in my coolant, no leaks, not shit. So I'm just kind of curious. Uh, are there other symptoms I should be looking for, later on? Because it's got almost 800,000 miles on it.
So your oil temperature is overheating?
Yeah, correct. It was getting up to 250, 260 degrees. But we went ahead and replaced the cooler, and it's all fine and dandy now. Um, but I didn't know an oil cooler could just fail with no other symptoms. I mean, I didn't have any fluids
I mean,
mixing or anything.
it could just be getting plugged, especially if it's an
Oh,
OEM cooler, because it's brass, like bronze, copper material surrounded in rubber, and the rubber breaks off,
right.
and then it plugs them little tubes in
Mm-hmm.
there. So if they get plugged up, yeah, it would do that. Dude, I got a
Okay.
fly.
Okay. Well, I was just kind of curious, if other symptoms I should be worried about or concerned about. It is an almost 800,000 mile engine right now, and that's really the first thing that's ever been done to it, other than an EGR cooler.
An EGR on a what year was that?
It's the 2019, the EPA 17.
Oh, okay, I got you.
It's 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 not been opened, no internals replaced, just an EGR cooler, and now the oil cooler. But I was just curious, if there's something else I should be looking for that could have caused that oil cooler to fail.
Yeah, I kind of led you wrong there just a little bit. I thought we were talking about a cat. I didn't know we were talking. I thought you were talking about like a C-15 or something. It was kind of laggy on my end.
No. It's a junk pack car. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead, Aaron.
No, I'm just listening. But as far as to answer his question specifically, I mean, you had a problem, identified the problem, repaired the problem went away. I mean, there's really nothing left to talk about.
Yeah,
Well,
the
I was just curious, if there was something that could make that cooler fail internally that I'm not seeing. Like I said, there was no obvious signs or anything. So,
Not really. I mean, is there like some kind of preventative thing you can do to make sure it doesn't happen to you in the future? I think the answer would probably be no. I mean, they're not prone to failures.
yeah, the other symptoms that would cause that, or the other things that would cause that symptom, would also cause way worse symptoms elsewhere. You would have multiple things going on. Like if it was like combustion gases getting in your oil, spiking your temperature up, you would be seeing blow by, you'd be seeing oil consumption,
right,
things like that.
right. Okay. Well, I know it's probably just a silly question to you guys, but I spent like $2,200 for a new cooler, having it put on. So I was just really just curious what else I could see from this. I mean, the issue is corrected. The oil and antifreeze, everything runs cooler than it ever has. 800,000 mile engine, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
No, it's one of those things that there's really not a lot you can do to improve the longevity because they're already kind of a long life item, and if one fails, it's more of an anomaly than the norm. So just continue operating as normal. I mean, you're lucky that's what the problem was, to be honest with you.
Yeah, for I was expecting, the worst, like the head gasket or drop liner, just whatever kind of major shit would cause oil problems. But I guess I just got lucky.
Yep. All right, brother. Well, good luck here on out, and thanks for calling.
All right. All right, brother. I appreciate it. Love the show.
Thank you. Bye. One more call on here, guys. Call part of the show, and again, I have Charlie from Pure Diesel Repair here. If you don't know who he is, go look him up on TikTok. Give him a follow. The number to call in is 573-422-4225. Somebody on TikTok said, I bought one of your oil cooler bypass items, and my truck's running 30 degrees cooler. That is really cool, man. We have the girls that work here. They have sold so many of those. It's mind-boggling. And we have gotten 100% good feedback. Everybody is between 20 and 30 degrees cooler. Then, yeah, it's really crazy. Think about the alternative is, between $4,000 and $6,000. These things are under $500 and an hour to install, and been pretty cool. So anyhow, we got quite a few callers now. Let's go ahead and run on over to them. Charlie, I want to say, in case I forget later, I do appreciate you coming here, and I know everybody else does. We appreciate you giving up your time to come hang out with all of us. We're in the same time zone, so I know that however late it is for me, it's also that late for you. So
yeah.
All right, here we go. You're on the air, brother. What can we do for you?
Hey, man, I was wondering, it's great to actually get through to you guys. I've been wanting to talk to you for a long time. I watch everything you guys got going on. Looking to buy my first truck since I got sick 20 years ago. I'm good, free of cancer now. And unfortunately, I live in the state of California. Smog compliance, asking, what motor in between the pack car and the Cummins, what mileage, what's the best one to get? Don't want to buy nothing brand new.
But you want to buy a newer truck, but you don't want to buy a brand new truck, right?
Yeah. I don't want to buy brand new. I'm looking at something maybe 13 to 17 range. Don't want to completely break the bank, because around here everything's 70 to 100,000 for forever. But trying to get away from the company logistics of it.
Well, Aaron's got more experience with the PACCARs than I do, so I personally would choose the ISX. But
okay,
I mean, a couple things to think about here. Just food for thought. The PACCAR, you can hate on them all you want. The fact of the matter is, they're million-plus mile engines. Hate on them all you want. They go 1,000,000+ miles. The problem is once you get to that 1,000,000+ miles and you have to overhaul it, your whole investment just kind of went down the toilet, right? That's the problem. You have a fucking turd that nobody else wants to touch, and it's going to cost you a fortune to fix it, and that's not 100% true everywhere you go, but it's 90% true, which is enough should scare you, right?
Yeah.
That
yes,
that Cummins is going to be more prone to engine failure than that PACCAR. But there's a lot of benefits. One benefit is you can be anywhere in the United States and get it fixed.
Yeah.
Most places will fix it for reasonable. The parts are astronomically more affordable. Even if you're going aftermarket, apples to apples, it's still astronomically more affordable. And last but not least, a Cummins will eat a fucking PACCAR for breakfast.
Yeah.
Both ways, uphill and downhill. Just fucking eat it for breakfast. So for me, I wouldn't want to drive a truck with a fucking PACCAR in it.
Yeah.
I've drove both. I had an 18-speed with the big 550 ISX in it, and now I'm driving a 13-speed Pete with a 485 PACCAR in it, and I cannot stand this PACCAR. The Jakes don't work like at all. You might as well just drag your foot on the ground out the door. And all of them are compliant. You know, we can't do anything around here that's not compliant in this lovely, awesome weathered state we got. You know, I had Cummins and Cats years ago before all of this, and I'm lost with this newer generation of motor, and I'm wanting to get my own truck, and I'm just like, I don't know which one to get at this point. I've drove them both, and they both broke down, you know, but the Cummins does, to me, outperform the PACCAR any day.
Yeah.
But we had the same issues with all of them. All DF and shit that just we can't get away from over here.
You just see that comment, Max Force for life. Goddamn. Anyway,
So,
you know, American Iron said.
yeah, I'll
American Iron is a commenter in the comment section. He said you should go for a 2016 or newer, based on your DPF technology. I think I would tend to agree with him on that. You know, older is not necessarily better in your case because you're having to be compliant no matter what. So really, in your case, the newer you can afford, the better off you're probably going to be. Of course, that, you know, if it was me, I would be focusing in, because you're really kind of stuck with this single cam, you know, 2350 setup for the years that you're looking for. I would focus in a lot more on the truck. How clapped out is the truck? I mean, how are your kingpins and drag links and cross links and spring bushings and all that shit? That's also going to tell you a hell of a lot about the guy that owned the engine that's in that truck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? If the whole
and all the trucks I'm looking at are owner operators, original owner. You know, some of them have 800,000 on them, been in framed with 200,000 on motor and hauling hazmat. You know, so I'm looking at good trucks. I've put eyeballs on all of them. They're all in very good shape. They're beautiful trucks, very well taken care of. You know, it just comes down to what motor I want with, you know, what motor I want at this point. I just don't want to get something. And the PACCAR, I've heard from everywhere. I've heard the PACCARs, like a lot of our local shops say, hey, you bring a PACCAR in here, we're going to send you to Peterbilt because we won't work on it.
Yep.
You know,
but I can give them a Cummins and they'll do it all day.
I have two of them in the shop right now. We're building 2 PACCARs right now, and I prefer not to. I don't know why my wife keeps putting them on our board. I mean, because honestly, we're in a position, fortunately, where we don't need to work on people's PACCARs. We're busy enough as it is, but it is nice to know that we can do them. But to be honest with you, we're so busy that I've been bringing in 2 technicians from Peterbilt that come here on the weekends, and they've built quite a few PACCARs for us, and we've learned a lot from them. But that's not even the thing. The thing is they're just too intricate. They take too much time. I have to charge too much money for them, right?
Yeah.
And these guys come in. The only way I can keep those PACCARs affordable is to actually hire techs from Peterbilt that they come over here on their own time and build them for me on the side, which they'll do it for a really good price and this and that. If I had to build them in-house, which we've done 3 of them in-house, I'm not going to sit here and say that we've never done any. That's how I know. They take so much longer. I have to almost add half as much time as I quote you for, say, a Cummins. And it's out of necessity. They take that much more time. They're a fucking shit show.
Yeah, it's like comparing a Chevy pickup to a BMW, to me. I mean, I look at my Pat car and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I look at a Cummins, I'm like, it still looks like a Cummins,
Yeah.
Well, it's like comparing a 1979 Chevy to a 2018 Chevy. Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that 2018 Chevy, you got to take the fucking cab off to even get work on the engine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, brother, I think
So,
we already know the answer.
all right, guys. Well, thank you very much, and that's what I'll stick to. And I know the prices are lower on Pat cars, and there's a reason for that, but we'll just keep looking for the red motors, I guess, over here.
Have a good night, man.
All right, thank you very much.
All
How you
right.
doing, Charlie?
Doing good, man.
At least this piece of shit's working. It's staying in one
Yeah.
piece. So I've lost you twice, but that's not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
It's pretty smooth on my side.
Yeah, it's pretty smooth over here too. I love my Pat car so far. 750,000, no issue. When the time comes, I'll just swap it. There's a lot of guys that love Pat cars and they love them for the right reasons. But nobody's going to get on here and say I love my Pat car because goddamn, I can pull a big load up a hill, no problem. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It depends on what you're doing with your Pat car. I mean, when we lived there beside you there in North Dakota, Charlie, I don't know if you ever saw that 2-ton I'd run around and do bees in. That thing had a Pat car in it. There was a little T800. I fucking loved it. I didn't have any problem with it at all, and I drove that thing to California 3 times.
That was the earlier Packard, though, where you could use the Cummins software to plug into it and shit.
Yep. It was the earlier one. I loved the VGT turbo on that thing. That thing would throw you through the fucking windshield, and it was great. And it had pretty good power, but it's a 2-ton, right?
Yeah.
So what do you expect? But anyhow, I certainly wouldn't want one in a big rig because that engine that was in there was a big rig engine, and I mean I could get that thing working pretty hard with that 2-ton. Loaded all the way up, and she struggled. I couldn't imagine trying to load with that thing. But anyhow, you ready for a caller?
Yeah, let's hear another one.
Oh man, one caller just hung up on himself. So the number to call in, guys, is 573-422-4225. Again, we have Charlie from Pure Diesel Repair on here. If you guys want to join in, we highly recommend giving us a call. We only got one guy on hold, so you won't have to wait very long. You're on the air, brother. What can we do for you?
Good night. I'm calling in from Jamaica. I have a C15 Acer. And I changed the head gasket and 6 liners. And it's not giving me any justice. Well, I had some overheating issues before we done all that work. And I ran back a trip after. The issues seem to be, that's it. And then after, oil and water started to mix. I'm at a crossroad right now. As I said, it's a C15 Acer. We had some overheating issues, so we pulled down the truck. We changed 6 liners, head gasket.
We got you, brother.
We did not change the water pump and the alcohol.
But you didn't. I mean,
but
hang on. You didn't change the one thing that was bad on it.
What was the one thing?
The cylinder head. That's the thing that caused you all your
So
problems.
you believe it's a head problem? So it's a head.
You could call it belief, but I don't operate too often off of faith. I mean, you overheated it.
So it's definitely the head.
Yeah, it needs a head. That's why you haven't cured your problem. All those other things you did didn't address the problem. The problem was the cylinder head. Now you may have found additional problems.
We brought the head to the machine. Well, I brought the head to a machine shop. I pressure tested the head, and the head was good.
Doesn't sound like it to me. I mean, you could have something else going on. We'll let Charlie have a take at it here. I mean, obviously, if you checked all your liner heights, I'm assuming you did that. And if the liner heights were good.
Yes. No, we didn't drop any liners.
Okay, so the one thing I know about cat heads is you can never say, we overheated this thing a couple times and the head's still in great shape. Those two things are never coincide.
Well,
once.
But we'll let Charlie have a take
one thing before Charlie goes. One thing. My version of overheat is not really American overheat because Jamaica is a high temperature country, and I heard that the cats in the Cummins are high temperature engines, but I don't typically run my trucks over 210 water temperature. That's what I use to watch the engine temperature. So when I say overheat, the truck was not blasted, but it was not maintaining the proper temperature.
Does your fan come on by itself?
No, the fan does not kick in by itself. I have to override it.
This fucking guy in his Mag Force comments.
So you should let the fan turn on by yourself. That's my opinion anyway, by itself. Just for example, there's that very same engine.
As I said, because of the temperature variation,
yeah,
we normally don't let the fans chip in at that. So in this hot country, you believe that we could climb hills at 210?
That very same engine, the very same engine that you have in your truck.
In our region.
Good.
Sorry about that. No. I'm listening to you. Sorry about that. I'm listening to you.
Okay, so that very same engine that you have in your truck in Jamaica, they'll put those on a skid and they'll ship them to Iraq, and they'll run at full load 100% of the time without anybody there to turn a fan on. It kicks the fan on at 217 degrees and it cools itself down to where it's supposed to, and it runs right there by itself almost indefinitely until it's worn out.
There's actually no place in the United States, there's no scenario that you'll ever be in where the engine fan under normal operating conditions is not going to cool the engine down when it comes on.
Yeah.
That includes guys that are hauling heavy as fuck up steep grades. Yep. Ask me how I know.
Yep.
I've hauled some.
I listened to you all the while. I watched all of your videos. You're pretty popular in Jamaica. That's why I called to ask your opinion. I watch all your videos. I listen to the lives. So that's why I called for your opinion. So I do believe in what you're saying. I watch your builds, and in the future, I'd like to buy a crate engine from you. Probably to be the first person with a hacknation engine in Jamaica.
Well, you wouldn't be the first Jamaican.
So
there's a lot of Jamaicans in North Dakota that would.
No, in Jamaica. In Jamaica. The engine in Jamaica.
I understand.
Bringing a crate engine, importing the crate engine, that would be a big thing.
But hear me out really quick. You're mixing coolant. Yes. You're mixing coolant and oil.
After the rebuild, yeah.
Right, unless you guys fucked the head gasket up when you went back together. Unless if we assume you didn't, your head's no good.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to pull it down again.
No
I
matter no matter what,
well,
brother.
the intention was to
No matter what
pull the Alpan.
no matter what, you have to pull the head off. Don't change the water pump.
Okay,
Don't
definitely.
change the oil cooler. Don't change your underwear. Take the head back off. The head's got to come back off. That is a cylinder head problem, whether it be head gasket or cylinder head. You're throwing away your money if you address anything else. I think Charlie would unequivocally agree with that. You're mixing coolant oil and all this other stuff. Take the head back off. If you haven't damaged the head gasket, you already know. I wouldn't bother even taking it back to the machine shop. I don't know what a head costs in Jamaica, but you need to put a new head on and your problems will magically go away. Unless you fuck the head gasket up, which let's assume you didn't. But if you did, then you know what to do there. But if you have correlating events, it's almost never worth your time to put the head back on, whether you took it to a machine shop or not, or you end up in exactly the position that you're in.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck, brother, man.
Okay, thank you.
Bye. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of Jamaicans in North Dakota. I don't know if you know that, but
there
yeah,
is.
a lot of those truck drivers are Jamaican. They're really cool dudes, but
Yeah.
Jamaican bobsled team.
How far?
That was a good
how
movie.
far
What a
lagged
cool
am I
running.
in the conversation?
Not bad.
Is it bad?
Not bad.
Oh.
In the beginning, you were really bad, but no, it's really not. It's caught up quite a bit. It's a little bit. It's not too bad at all. No, that gentleman was just talking over you no matter what. It wasn't because you were lagging so bad.
Okay.
The reason you stopped hearing it is because I turned his mic off because that was just too much. Like he, not that we don't appreciate every caller, but if you want to call and get some input from Charlie or something like that, let's at least give him a fucking minute to get that input out there. Anyway, we got lots of callers stacked up. Guys, the number to call in is 573-422-4225. We have Charlie from Pure Diesel Repair. If you're watching on TikTok and you want to interact a little bit more, Facebook, you can see Charlie and all that. You can hear him. I didn't know, but the headset actually is putting you out as well, Charlie. So the TikTok is able to hear you. So that's pretty cool. But what's this here? And if you see anything you want to comment on in the comment section, Charlie, just let me know and I'll slow down and let you say whatever you want to say. I've got an ISX CM570 factory 600. Can I get all the coated bearings? Oh,
yep.
Sorry, I thought it was going to be a better question. Yes, of course. Get a hold of the girls. We're coding kits around the clock. We're going to have those kind of kits out very, very soon. In fact, ironically, Charlie, this is kind of interesting. The very first kit we're going to have ready to sell, even though we've been developing cat kits for 5 fucking months now. I've just never satisfied with them. And actually, we're R&D in a kit this weekend to make sure that the coatings hold up. But the first kit that's actually going to get released to the public is a DD15s in the Packers.
Oh, wow.
It's just really ironic. Right.
Yeah.
They are really cool kits, though. It was kind of a side quest that I kind of put together myself. All German manufacturing, German-made liners, German-made piston crowns, rings, bearings, and gasket set are all made in Germany.
Yeah. Cool.
And then we're coating everything and packaging them up. Super. Is he back? He is back. There you are. We lost you for a minute. You there? Can you hear me? Charlie.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, there you are, finally. We lost you for a minute. You ready for a caller?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. You're on the air. What can we do for you?
Hey, good evening, Aaron. I've got a C15A cert as well that I had a couple questions about. I hear you guys talk a lot about oil pressure. Mine, it's got 60 pounds in when it's cold, and when I'm running it under load. But when I come to a stop, it drops all the way down to about 30 pounds. Would that be normal for a C15?
Hot, or are you talking temperature outside is cold or the engine is cold?
The engine is cold, yeah. In the mornings when I first started up, it's it's up there around 60 to 70, and then when I'm running it under a load, it's got 60, 65. But when I come to like a stoplight and let it idle, it drops all the way down to about 30 pounds.
I mean, you're not in the danger zone by any means. You're
Okay.
almost double what it can be. So
Okay. And I had an oil sample when I bought the truck. I just recently bought it, and I had an oil sample, and that all checked out good. So another thing I got going on is the fan is cycling on and off with the air conditioner going on. And I've heard you, Aaron, talk about a pressure switch or something that could be.
No, if your AC is going, it's gonna do that. It has to do that, or you wouldn't have a cool AC.
But just like constantly on, off, on, off.
yeah, it can be. It could also be
Yeah.
overcharged. If it's
Yep.
overcharged and your pressure's a little too high, it kicks that sensor in and out
Gotcha.
way more often.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. And one more question: what's you guys' take on Jake and empty? You hear guys all the time tell you not to do it. Is it hurting anything?
The truck doesn't know if it's empty or the Jakes don't know if it's empty or not. It doesn't do anything different.
That's kind of what I thought.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
That's actually a pretty common question that I get asked. I don't know how often Charlie gets asked that, but people ask me all the time if Jake brakes wear out the engine, harm the engine, wear and tear. The answer to that on all occasions, all fronts is no.
No.
It does zero effect to the longevity of the engine.
Okay. All right, fellas. I appreciate it. Have a good evening.
Yep. No problem.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
I don't know where that comes from personally, because
I don't know. I also get that all the time, like multiple times a week.
Right. It's quite often.
Yeah.
It's usually younger guys too that are asking me that, and because some older dumbass told them that.
Yeah.
Just don't Jake empty on ice. Well, you got a point there. Jake and empty on ice can get you in big trouble quick.
Yeah.
That's for damn
That
sure.
is hard on it.
Jake and full on ice can get you in trouble real quick too if you're heavy enough and pointed downhill. Ask me how I know. All right. The number to call in, guys, 573-422-4225. Despite getting a late start, we still have a whole hour left. So we've got 4 callers on. So if you want to join the show, feel free to call in. We'll certainly be able to get with you guys. Again, that's 573-422-4225. We have Charlie from Pure Diesel Repair here. Thanks again, Charlie, for your time. Let's get to these callers. Hey, you're on the air. What can we do for you, brother?
Hey, I had a technical question for you guys. I had Freightliner put a motor in my truck. One of my trucks, it's an M2, and it made it about 63,000 miles, and they tell me it lost a wrist pin, took out the cylinder, took out the crank and the block. They told me there was a year warranty on it, and it was just about 13 months. I had changed the oil 5 times, yada, yada, yada. They're not covering the motor. But my question is, how common is wrist pin failures?
Not very common. You'll get a wrist pin bushing failure or a, maybe some sort of a lack of lubrication to cause it to wear. But I've seen a couple of them broken, but it's usually caused by something else, like a valve being stuck open and broke and then squished or something.
They hooked my truck up, no events. It didn't get hot. I mean, I'm just beside myself. They want another 40 grand to put another motor in this thing. And my take on it is, shouldn't a Cummins motor last more than 62,000 miles?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was just curious how common wrist pin failures are because Freightliner put it on paper that that was the cause of the issue. But since I was 13 and a half months or whatever it was, and they only gave me a 12-month warranty when they put and it was a crate motor. I physically watched them unload the motor off the truck. I mean, it's not a rebuilt motor. It was a brand new motor.
Give
I'm
me
just curious.
give me 1 second here. We might be able to help answer your question a little bit. Charlie, I have a question for you of my own that's kind of relative to what he's asking you here. And long story short, I have a customer here that just bought an engine from us. He had bought an engine from another company right before us, and it made it 20,000 miles and lost a wrist pin. And obviously fucked the engine up really bad. He took it back to that company. I don't want to name the company, but he took it back to that company. They did warranty it. They redid it all again, and he made it 3,000 miles and lost a wrist pin and fucked the engine up again. Obviously, he's asking me, how does this happen? You know, and on the analysis, the second analysis anyway, I'm not too privy on the first analysis, but the second analysis, we don't have broken cooling jet. We don't have drop valves. We don't have any of these things that could point to, you know, maybe we smacked really hard or maybe we weren't getting lubrication. And according to what he gave me the impression, we didn't have that on the first failure either, right? And so, yeah, like he's asking me what's going on, and you know, my thought, and this is just my thought, and I kind of wanted to get your opinion on it. It really correlates to this guy's question. Isn't it almost fucking impossible for it not to be an installation error?
Yeah, or an outside, different problem that caused it. But yeah, I agree.
Barring external circumstances like an oil cooler, oil cooling nozzle, or cylinder head strike,
Yep.
barring those two.
Yeah. It's
And
very rare.
inside of a certain amount of miles, it's almost guaranteed to be an installation error.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, what else could cause it? I mean, it'd have to be that, or I mean, installation error could also be wrong parts. I guess they could have the wrong shit in there.
That's an installation error.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, really. You know, I kind of have to take Excalibur's side on that. He's kind of the one that kind of gave me that mentality is, you know, it's not the part supplier's fault if they gave you the wrong parts if you installed them. It's really not, you know, and I never thought about it. Like he brought that up on the show a while back, and I was like, you know what, he's fucking right, really, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, that's not helping our caller much, but I kind of thought maybe we could help put it into perspective just a little bit that you know, bringing it from, you know, taking it out of your hands and just giving Charlie this is abstract question. Under 60,000 miles, lost a wrist pin. We don't have any identifiable cause for failure. It almost has to be some kind of installation error, you know. Either our rod, either our you know, wrist pin bushing wasn't honed correctly, our wrist pin keepers weren't in, something of that nature.
Yep. Uh-oh, you froze on my end.
Well, for the Cummins rep, I had to go, you know, Cummins National, talk to everybody, but you know, at every level they've shot me down for whatever reason. I don't know. But I was just curious how common this is, or if you see it from time, you know. I've never heard of a wrist pin failure.
They happen for sure.
And I own set.
I personally don't think it's very common, but Charlie might see a lot more of them than I do. I don't know.
Nope, not me. I don't.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time, guys. Love what you do.
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right, brother. Good luck, man. Sorry for your loss, so to speak. You you almost have to say it like they lost a loved one.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, so that's why this other guy is buying. I mean, the crazy thing is this company I was telling you about, this other one here, they're actually are warrantying the second engine for the second time, but he doesn't even want to put it back in his truck. He bought one from us. So kind of a weird, at some point I mean, I get it. Two engines for they're on the third engine now. He doesn't even want to put it back in the truck. He's just gonna
Yeah.
see if somebody wants to buy that other engine from him.
Yeah. That'd be
Very
frustrating.
reputable company that does it too. Anyway, now we have a shit ton of callers, so we probably better start banging them out. You ready?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. You're on the air, brother. What can we do for you?
Hello.
That's you.
Hello.
Yep.
Yes, this is my first time calling. Originally I'm from Africa, and I'm thinking of setting up shop back home with all this. I have a sister who's getting into trucking business, and I was thinking of the cat engine, the older version, the older one, because we don't care about emissions out there. So what are the things I would need to have, like parts and all that? What are the things that break up, that need spares and all that? You know, those like 3406C, those type of engines, mechanical, strictly mechanical. That's what I'm about to do.
What's the question, though, I guess?
Yeah.
The question is this. The older cat engines, 3406, are they still available? Like parts and all that? Because I want to set up shop in East Africa, and I need mechanical engines. We are not into all these emissions and all that. We don't care about emissions. So my question is this. How available are 3406 engines?
They are readily available. Readily available. Are they readily available in East Africa? I have no fucking clue. Right? I know that PAI has a global presence.
Yep.
They don't all have a global presence. PAI does. I can't remember who else does. I don't think Interstate maybe has quite the global presence that PAI does. I know the AFA has a lot of South American presence. I don't think they have a global presence. Does that mean that there are PAI kits in East Africa or West Africa, wherever you said? Man, who knows, right? Who knows? That's something that only, since you're there, you're going to be there. You need to do your homework and find out, right?
Okay. All right. Thanks for the show. I'm getting a lot of knowledge from you guys. I appreciate that. I keep my ears on you, and I'm learning so much. So thanks for all that you do. Much appreciated.
Thank you, man. Have a good night.
You too. Thanks.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Yeah.
I know that guys in Australia hit me up a lot, and so do people in New Zealand. And, their options for parts are pretty slim. They can get PAI, and that's about it. They can get PAI or OEM, or there's just shit out of luck.
Yeah. PAI has been good to me.
Yeah, but, you've never priced out a PAI kit in Australia.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't had to do that.
So anyway, 11 callers here. We probably better start taking them. We won't get to them all. We'll want to go home. So you're on the air, brother. What can we do for you?
Hey, good evening.
What's up, man?
Evening. Hit us with it.
So, what would cause a rest failure on a 6NZ?
A wrist pin failure?
sorry, I was out of the truck here. Hey, so yeah, funny that you guys are talking about wrist pins here a few minutes ago. We
Yep.
lost one here in a truck, and trying to figure out what caused it.
Go ahead. You're more clear than I am.
So we do have one correlating event. We do have one event that could correlate to it. An injector hold down bolt broke off on that same hole. And we're just trying to, is this what caused that a couple months later?
So, let me interject really quick. What am I thinking? How sure are we that it didn't happen the other way around, right? When you lost that wrist pin, it's much more likely that this piston crown hit the cylinder head and jammed the injector up and broke that bolt. It's not the other way around. I mean, it doesn't even make sense any other way. But go ahead, Charlie.
Well,
You got it from here.
Can I say something?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So the injector hold down bolt broke off, and then the engine developed a ticking sound, and then a couple months later, the tick turned into a bang, and the wrist pin bearing is laying in the oil pan.
You probably what was the injector failure the same fail? Like, was the bolt breaking off? Did these two things happen at the same time?
The same hole. No, the injector failure was a couple months before the wrist pin failure.
And you heard a bang before it happened. Did the valves hit the piston at all? Was there any kind of marks on the top of the piston where you could see the valve?
It had. Well, we don't have the head off of it yet. But it had a ticking sound after the injector went out for a long time that we couldn't figure out what was causing. And then now it's the wrist pin. And that was the bang, was the wrist pin going out.
That ticking sound was probably a valve.
Yeah.
So you think the valve was a little bit loose or something caused by the injector?
Look on the top of your piston when you get the head off, and right here see this around the outside here, you'll see little spots where the valves have been touching, if that's what's happening. Just so when you get the head off, make sure you look for, because if the valves, if the piston is closing the valve, that's going to put a ton of stress on your wrist pin.
Okay. What are some damages and stuff that we should look at since this wrist pin has gone out? Could it have messed up the crank? Or?
No, the crank's probably okay. You might want to make sure the connecting rod's still straight. Make sure that it's not bent or tweaked in any way. I've seen a couple wrist pins do that to them before.
I personally, I mean, a rod for that engine's like $180. I wouldn't even waste. It's just I don't even waste my time. They're not expensive enough for you to reuse them. I mean, I appreciate, but I mean, Charlie's got a lot of good tools to be able to check stuff like that. It's not worth your time. Throw it in the fucking trash and get another one.
Mm-hmm. Do you need to change the head if the piston hit it?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if that injector coming out could have caused whatever led to this wrist pin failing.
I still think it's the other way around.
something else
personally.
starts. I don't know for sure. But yeah, who knows? I guess we'll see more when we get it apart.
Yep.
Yeah.
Call back next week and let us know what you found.
Sure. All right. Yeah, you guys have a good night.
You too.
Yeah, the lag's pretty bad between the caller and you, Charlie. Dude, when are you going to get your internet fixed? When they bring me fiber 10 years from now. I got the best internet option I can get, so it is what it is, guys. And you gotta realize it's struggling trying to, Charlie's streaming from a couple thousand miles away from me, and it kind of is what it is. And we're running a roadcaster. It's streaming live in 3 different places, plus streaming Charlie. We're asking a lot of the internet tonight.
Come on, Elon. I'm gonna grab a drink really quick. Just a sec.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Anyway, it's my opinion that he probably, there's got to be a correlation. Your injector bolts don't just break, right? And we have a tick going on and all that. I'm of the opinion he struck that head for one reason or another. And it just took it's not that much time. It's like a month later, he's lost a wrist pin. I have a hard time believing they're not directly related.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the times the valves will just stick open.
Anyhow.
Oh, sorry, I'm probably lagging, huh? A lot of the times the valves will just stick open, and then
you're good.
The piston just keeps closing them for miles and miles and miles before it breaks the valve off, or has to break something. Something has to happen.
Yep. I almost guarantee you that there's valve strikes in that piston crown when he pulls it off. All right, lots of callers. They keep calling. Here in just a minute, we'll cut off the callers if we get too many more, because we won't be able to get to all of them. So, but for now, I think we'll be able to handle everybody. All right, you're on the air, brother. What can we do for you?
Hello?
It's you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, hey, I'm working on a Detroit Series 60 12.7, developed a miss. And it just developed it right away. So I pulled all the injectors out thinking I had torn O-rings on the injectors. Everything looked good, put it back together, still have a miss. But what's puzzling me is as soon as you shut that truck off, it's like it's full of air. You got to grind it to get it started. I didn't think an injector going bad would suck air that quick. Is that possible? Or do you think it's a fuel pump or something?
So it takes a long time to start, like it's cranking for a while before it starts?
Yeah, when I shut it off, I might leave it shut off for 3 minutes. When you go to start it, you got to grind and grind and grind. And then when it starts, it acts like it's full of air. But I still have a miss.
For how long?
Everything looked good on. You mean it's how long do I got to grind it?
No, like how long does it run? Like
crap?
Does it come out of it?
No, yeah, it does come out of it. It's really rough when it first starts. It comes out of it, but I still have a miss. I never get rid of the miss on it. And everything on top of the motor looked good. The rollers looked good, and all that. I didn't see anything wrong with the cam lobes or anything like that. So I'm still thinking it's probably an injector. But what puzzles me is why does it start so hard? As soon as you shut it off and try to start it again, it starts like it's full of air. Would a bad injector do that?
It could, yeah. An injector like overfueling can do that, or drip. A lot of people call it dripping.
Right.
Like when you turn the engine off, it'll drip the fuel into the cylinder. But you want to verify fuel pressure, and then you'll want to check and make sure your check valve is holding that fuel pressure. There's an orifice fitting on the back of the cylinder head that needs to be 80 thousandths.
Right.
The little hole is 80 thousandths, and then there's
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
the check valve right after that. I can't remember if I said check valve or not, but there's a check valve right after that.
It keeps it from bleeding.
Yep.
It keeps the fuel in the head from bleeding out. I understand. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm thinking I have an injector problem. I'm going to have it hooked up to the computer. It's hard to get into these shops anymore. I'm waiting a couple of days for them to put the computer on it so they can do an injector cutout test. That would tell me if it's definitely an injector, wouldn't it?
No, not necessarily. An injector cutout test will cut the injector out and make it not work when they're telling it to not work, but it doesn't have anything to do with being a leaky injector or like a drippy injector. It's more or less just checking the electronics.
Okay. I mean, if I pulled the exhaust manifold off and started it, I would, if it was overfueling, would it throw a lot of stuff out the port there? Exhaust port?
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I mean, yeah, I thought maybe it was a fuel pump because, the way it started, it's as soon as you shut the truck off and start it back up, it's like it's full of air. I mean, like immediately. And that's what was puzzling me.
That sounds, I mean, just where I would go with this is I would forget about having a bad injector. Figure out why you're losing your prime, right?
That's what
always
I was
start
gonna
with
say.
that check valve on the back of the head there. The other thing you can do is drop off your main fuel line into a 5-gallon bucket of fuel, start it up and run it for a second, turn it off and see if it loses prime. If it doesn't, then it's behind that fuel pump. If it still loses prime, then it's in the fuel system. Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, from the pump to the engine, I understand, yeah.
Right. So you got to do a little bit more you got to put a little bit more effort into it, but you should be able to narrow it down very quickly. If it was me, I would change the check valve first, just because it's the easiest thing in the world to do, pretty much, and all your problems might go away. But could it be an injector causing the problem? Sure, but it's a lot more unlikely than it being some kind of sucking air issue or not holding back pressure issue than it is probably an injector.
When you're saying about the check valve, you're not talking about the one that has the 80 thousandths hole in it. You're talking about the one that keeps from bleeding back. That's the check valve you're talking about replacing.
It's the one on the back of the cylinder head. This
Yep.
is Detroit, right?
Yeah, mine. When I did it over, it was right on the head, but now it's in a line, maybe a foot away from the head.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same difference.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying. So that could be my problem there also, huh?
I think it's the most likely scenario, personally.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's what I'll check. I'll put one of those in, and because they're not that expensive, I've had them replaced before. It's just, like I said, it was running perfect. I stopped at a red light, and I could hear the engine was hitting hard, and then to take off, it was messing. And then I turned back down.
And what a bucket of fuel do for you is it eliminates a lot of troubleshooting, because you can decide immediately, am I engine forward or am I engine back? In other words, are you dealing with filters, secondary filters, fuel lines, stand pipes, all this other shit? Or am I dealing with an engine forward that simple, few to your hours and hours of gas and having 100?
Yeah, right.
At least figure it out first.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, that's my place to go from here on. I've tried about everything else, so we'll do that.
All right. Party naked, brother.
All right. Appreciate your time.
Why not, Charlie? It's my show.
Yeah.
The cat sells a clear tube to see if you have bugs. Yes, they do. I do own that tool. It's a very useful tool, but it still doesn't tell you where the problem's at. So I do like having that tool, but I don't use it often until I've isolated down. You know, it just tells you, okay, I have a problem. You know, the inline problem, but certainly doesn't help you narrow down where the problem's coming from. So it's a nice tool to have to determine you. Yes, I have a problem, but you know, you don't need it. Is what I'm kind of getting at. You can you can narrow down your you have a fucking problem. The thing won't start as soon as you turn it off. So that tool that wouldn't help him in any way, shape, or form figuring out why that is. You got to stop calling in. There's too many on hold. Caller 27. After you, we won't take any more calls. There's 14 people on hold. We probably better start whacking at them, Charlie, if we're going to get through them here. You ready?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, let's go. You're on the air, brother. What can we do for you?
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Charlie. Been following hacknation for a while now. I'm a new owner operator, and I guess one common thing I could say I learned from you so far is a major success to any engine is proper maintenance. So I just want to see if you can speak on what is proper maintenance for. I'm not making a good incline. I'm just trying to learn right now as an owner op. So it's like, what is proper maintenance? Thank you.
Go ahead. You're the one with all the lubrication experience.
I'm on here every night, man. I'll put in my 2 cents after you. I want to give people a chance to hear Charlie's perspective on things.
All right, so I used to work for a place called Flying J, and they had like probably the best maintenance program for their trucks. And they used to do, they called them short services and long services. They would do 2 short services, which doesn't change the fluids, but you grease the truck and inspect it. And then you would do a long service, and that was every 300 or 400 hours was a long service. But that was not in the oil field though. That was down in the Salt Lake Valley. So they would just do every 400 hours was an oil change, but twice in between them they would do a grease job. And their shit lasted forever.
Okay.
That's a pretty tight protocol.
Yeah.
When I was running my operation in the oil field, which I was always in the oil field, every 10,000 miles or every month in North Dakota, it was hard to rack up miles because it was such short runs. Every month we would change the oil, or every 10,000 miles. But I greased them every 3 fucking days.
Yeah.
Every 3 days I greased my entire fleet. Grease is cheap. It doesn't stay, no matter what people say. It doesn't stay in the U joints. Doesn't stay anywhere it's supposed to stay. If you're using and abusing your trucks, there's no amount of grease that is too much, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you're running over the road, do you need to crawl into your truck and grease it every 3 days? No, you don't. But if you're not doing it, every 2 weeks, in my opinion, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yep.
I will throw something out there really quick. This is something I've learned since I don't own trucks, and that is the trucks that come in here. We did 300 and something truck engines last year. We're on track to do 300. We're going to surpass 350. We don't know what number we're going to be at this year, but it's going to go over 350. So it's the engine a day. Unequivocally, the engines that come in here that suffer the least amount of damage, the engines that come in here that require the least amount of money to restore them back to a usable engine are hands down engines that have an oil bypass system on them.
Yeah.
It's becoming a theme that I'm paying attention to that is so obvious at how well they preserve the engine that I am going to institute very shortly. I've already looking into it, setting it all up. Every engine I sell, if you buy an engine from me, I'm going to provide an oil bypass system with the engine that I sell, and it's going to be a requirement that you use that oil bypass system for our warranty.
Yeah.
And I don't have a deal with any oil bypass people. There's nothing for sale here. This is something I'm going to give with the engines and require you to install. And what people don't understand about an oil bypass is your oil filter that's on your truck. And we're talking, let's go with high efficiency here. A high efficiency cat filter is filtering, and Charlie might be able to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it filters down to 20 micron on the oil.
Yeah, probably.
Regular filter could filter somewhere between 40 and 50 micron. So a high efficiency is 20 micron. Well, I don't know if you guys know how big a micron is, but a 20 micron piece of carbon is fucking huge.
Yeah.
That will tear shit up. But you can't go smaller than that on these filters, guys, because otherwise you wouldn't have oil pressure. That's the trade-off here. If you're going to go down to a 5 micron filter or something like that, your engine would blow up. There's high volume oil going through the filter.
Or it would do more damage because it would just bypass the oil through like the bypass springs and stuff, and then you wouldn't be filtering your oil at all.
Exactly. So an oil bypass system filters to 1 micron, and you hook it into your oil rifle, and it's filtering 15 liters of oil, every 2 or 3 hours or something?
Yeah.
So you're filtering all your oil maybe 4 or 5 times a day, maybe 10 times a day, depending on how long you're running it. But it's 100%. It's filtering at 100%. And the oil that's left in your oil reservoir is like you change the oil every day you're driving, every single day.
Yep.
And the results I see from that, Charlie, I don't know if you've experienced many trucks with oil bypasses. I didn't really start getting into them until we came down here. It's fucking unreal. The camshafts are never damaged. The cranks are never scratched up. We're not sanding and polishing cranks. We're not redoing pin and rollers and all the valve train and all that. On any truck that has one of these bypass systems, we don't have to do none of that shit. We're fixing the stuff that's worn out and putting them back on the road. So if I was going to give anybody in the diesel industry a suggestion for what can I do to absolutely increase the longevity of my engine build and avoid exorbitant costs on the back end when I finally do have to overhaul this thing, unequivocally, of oil bypass. That's just what I'm seeing. And I never ran. I had the centrifuges. They were great.
Yep.
But man, they don't do what these bypass filters do. They don't take shit down to 1 micron. They don't make you have new oil again. You know, look at AMSOIL. If you run AMSOIL's bypass system, they tell you to take their oil to 100,000 fucking miles if you're using their bypass system. That's not by coincidence that they're recommending that. I mean, it's their reputation on the line.
Yeah.
That makes sense? So how big of a deal is maintenance in general, actually? Well, look at what a oil bypass system could do. You would have to change your oil every 3,000 miles, probably, in a big rig to achieve the same results over time. So somebody asked her, oh, we probably better get back to this call. Are you still there?
Yep. Oh, him.
Oh, he hung up. He's like, that fucking Aaron guy talks too much. But anyway, it's something that's been on my mind a lot, Charlie, to be honest with you. A guy just asked the AMSOIL HD bypass filter, or is that kit fine? That's actually the one I'm looking at to provide on all engines. Did we die?
Yeah, it was real bad there for a minute.
Yeah, it was. We'll just take another caller. Hello, you're on the air. What can we do for you?
I got a 2-part question. CM 870 Cummins, I know they've got a reputation, but built the motor somewhere around 60,000 miles ago. Did not replace the rod cap bolts, which Cummins doesn't necessarily recommend that. But going forward, that'll be a new trend. What do you think? What is your opinion on a rod that's now hanging out the side that is ventilated a Cummins block, breaking all 4 rod cap bolts?
Go ahead, man. That didn't come through for me.
So he has an ISX.
Oh,
He has an ISX that put the rod through the side of the engine and broke all 4 rod cap bolts. He wants to know what your opinion is of what could have happened.
On it broke all 4 rod cap bolts. Where I mean, how many miles was it before somebody messed with it? Did they get left loose, or was there a spun bearing and just broke it? There's a bunch of stuff it could be.
I mean, the crank itself is polished where it's not gouged, so it doesn't look like it was run without oil pressure in that bearing for long. And the rod isn't broke. The rod's still connected to the piston. The entire rod cap end of the rod is hanging out the side of the motor. I built the motor, me personally, I built the motor about 60,000 miles ago. I'm not taking anything away from operator error. Very likely could be. I don't necessarily think so. I'm pretty thorough. But I've never seen one or heard one breaking off. All 4 of the rod cap bolts are broke off in the end of the rod.
Maybe where's that? I mean, could have been over torqued. I'm not sure, man. That came through so bad for me. I only got about every 3rd or 4th word.
I can hear him just fine, but the problem is he's got a bunch of echo, so he's got another device, and I think that's why you're having a problem hearing him. I have him turned down for a second here. Can you hear me fine?
Yep.
I'm assuming probably. So, he's not eliminating. He's the one that rebuilt it 60,000 miles ago. He's not eliminating that he could have been the cause, but he's just wondering what would have been the cause if all 4 of the rod cap bolts snapped off and it shoved the piston through the side of the engine, pretty much.
And there's just so many things that it could be. They need to look into that a little more. Over torqued, under torqued, spun bearing, lack of lubrication. What do the mains next to it look like? You know, because the rod bearings get their oil from the main bearings. So if the bearing that it's getting its oil from is damaged, you know that it was contamination from that one.
Can you hear him, brother?
Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to give a pause and give everybody time to answer. But I have not pulled the oil fan off of it yet. I don't know just yet exactly what it all looks like. But what I can tell is the rod journal is polished where it's not gouged. So it doesn't look like spun bearings. I'm thinking maybe broke one side and stacked the bearing and broke the other side. Maybe I'm not sure. What is your opinion on replacing rod cap bolts? I'm not going to say it's not possible. It's very likely they were under torqued or over torqued. I don't know if maybe stress. Truck was never overheated. Never really treated bad. Serviced regularly. Do you think it's a recommendation to start? I build a good many of these Cummins motors for myself and the public. Do you think it should be good practice to start putting rod bolts, new set of rod bolts in one every time you build a motor?
I don't. I know people that do that. I know people that will not build an engine without replacing the rod and main bolts. And I can say that every engine that I've ever done, I have reused the rod and main bolts.
So I want to interject really quick as well. I saw a couple guys in the comments saying they've never reused the rod bolts, but I I'm going to have to go with Charlie here. Every engine I've ever done. If I ended up needing rod bolts for some reason, I'm robbing them out of our scrap pile of thousands of parts and reusing old ones to replace the old ones that I lost or whatever happened.
Yep.
And I've never had anything like this happen, you know.
Yep.
Okay. Next, I guess, next question. Is there, I mean, obviously I've watched both of y'all and I'm in on AFA and everything else, and I'm not saying at all that their product is under par. Is there anything outside of, you know, what I call butter, the lube on rod main bearings going back in? Is there anything possibly that I can do different to? I just ain't trying to send an outside for the public motor. There's nobody that wants to fool with Cummins motors around where I'm from. I've run them in my trucks. I've got one that's been pretty close to 850. It does a phenomenal job. I will pull a Caterpillar out of a truck to put a Cummins in it. But with that being said, that's just my preference. But I don't want this trouble to happen. This is my personal truck, and I just don't want this trouble to happen to somebody that I'm building a motor for.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was going to put in my 2 cents here, brother, I would say that, you know, if you're being diligent going forward, I certainly wouldn't let it deter you. Continue to build your next engine and just make sure that, because it could have been a plethora of different things, like Charlie pointed out. You know, it could have been blocked up oil passage. You haven't done enough R&D anyway. You need to open that thing up and really look at what you got going on. You know, Charlie's coming back with a piston. Oh man, we're gonna get a lesson.
So I can't get these out by hand, but anyway, you can measure the length of these. The spec is in the cat books or the manuals or the cat sys, from the bottom of the head there to the end, and it'll tell you if it's stretched or what the heck do they call that? Salvage and reuse guidelines. If you can use those bolts,
It is a Cummins,
if you're concerned about it. Oh, it is. It's a Cummins. Well, yeah, even better. They got the same thing in there on quick serve.
Yep. What he's saying is, if you're
Questions is because I've got one in for the public now that I'm nervous about, kind of skeptical about moving forward with, because while I'm in the middle of building one for the public, one of mine ventilates the block.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, open it up more. Call next week, and we'll help you evaluate it once you have a better picture.
10-4. One more thing, and I'll leave you alone. The fellow with the Detroit about 3 callers ago. Return line and a clear jug. If it bubbles, cool. That means it's fuel trouble before the head. If it does not bubble, leave the fuel line in the jug. Roll the key off if the truck crank's fine. It's check valve plus a hose back.
Lost Charlie for a minute.
Yeah, I
There
couldn't
he
hear
is.
that either.
I wonder how many people know that your fuel line has air in it always.
Yeah.
If you were to hook a sight glass up to your fuel line, you're going to find out that you always have air in your fuel. It actually comes down to how much air you have in your fuel. So you can't really get a jug. I don't want to just pick at this guy, but you can't get a jug and and
It's
see that
not-
you have air coming through your fuel line. Say, hey, I have a
Yeah.
problem. Because like your bubble tester that guy was talking about earlier that you get from Cat, that has a site in it where you count how many bubbles go by, and you have an allotted amount that can go by before you determine if you have a problem. So all fuel has air going through it at all times.
And the procedure is important too, because you have, when you do the test that Aaron's talking about, where it allows you to have so much air, you have to have a certain amount of fuel pressure that's acceptable before you even run that other test. So you have to have fuel pressure. You have to have, the correct amount of fuel. You can't be like low on fuel, obviously. And then you get to count how many bubbles. And isn't there like the size? They can be like the size of a pencil eraser or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, it can't be that big, I don't think. But yeah, you
Yeah.
do have a size. The sight glass also has a size to it. So you're looking at size and looking at count. Yep.
Yep.
But anyway, we still have a fucking full stack of callers. What did I say? 27. 27. We have a couple people past that. Guys, we're not going to take the last couple callers that are on hold here, but there's still quite a few. So we'll go ahead and get to them now. I'll drop the people we're not going to take just so you guys aren't sitting on hold for no reason. Sorry about that. We still have 9 callers to go. So let's burn through them here. You're on the air. What can we do for you?
Hey, so I got a question. 05 C15 Cat. The motor will not warm up. 90 degrees outside. It's running on the gauge, 175 on the scanner, 188. It's had multiple thermostats put in it, water pump. The engine's been overhauled 100,000 miles ago. Had the same problem before the engine was overhauled. You take a temperature gun and shoot the block, you're 190. Whenever it gets cold outside, I mean, you're lucky to get the motor up to 150 degrees. Any ideas?
Is the radiator been like upgraded or anything like that to where, or is it all
The
stock?
radiator was replaced. No, the radiator was replaced 2 years ago. It does have a bigger radiator in it. However, same issue. The issue happened. I don't want to say that. Same radiator went back in it. So, I mean, it had an upgraded radiator, put another upgraded radiator in it.
Yep. And do you know the temperature of the thermostats that are in there?
195. So, odd question. I mean, I'm somewhat on the level of tuning trucks. Is there any way this truck under a hard pull with a loaded trailer, you're lucky to get 600 degrees on the EGTs? Is there any way it was tuned by Pittsburgh Power? Is there any way that this thing could be running lean, not putting enough fuel in the cylinders, letting it run cold?
I mean, maybe. Being lean also causes heat in some cases.
That is true. I mean, I've been all over this motor. I mean, this has been a year-long ordeal. So I mean, I'm really reaching here. You know, it's a customer of mine. I really want to get his truck straightened out, but looking for some kind of direction to go in.
Go ahead. I say you're about to talk, Aaron. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, couple things is this even a problem? First of all, I have customers whose trucks just don't seem to want to run warm, kind of no matter what they do. And if he's really concerned about it, is he running a winter front? Why isn't he running a winter front? Have you tried putting a piece of cardboard in front of the radiator, seeing what temperature it gets to when the fan kicks on? Maybe you'll come to find out that it's only getting up to like 180 and the fan's coming on because it's actually getting way warmer than you think it is. You said you hit it with a gun. It was at 190. Well, 190 is a beautiful temperature for a diesel engine. I would love to see every engine on planet Earth be at 190 forever. I'm just really, over here asking myself, do we really even have a problem?
So the customer claims that he was driving down the road one day. The truck used to run about 200 degrees on the gauge. He's driving down the road. Everything was just hunky-dory. All of a sudden, he looks down. The temperature gauge has dropped down to 175. And that's what started this whole spiel. He claims that it hasn't warmed up since, something broke. I agree, 190, it's warmed up. Now, if you put a cardboard or a window, I mean, it stays this.
Okay, and
So-
we're running you're using a computer to determine all this, or you're just going off of the gauge that you stare at on the dash?
No. I put a scanner on it. I look at the engine coolant temperature. I compared it to the dash. Then I've shot it with a laser on the motor, on the hoses and everything. And I mean, it's, I'd say it's pretty accurate with what's on the scanner. 188. I can't tell you. The gauge shows around 150 whenever it's cold outside. I have not hooked the scanner up to it whenever it's cold outside to tell you whether or not it is actually 150 or whatever. But right now on a 90-degree day, I mean, we're getting 188 out of it.
And what's the problem with that? That's a beautiful temperature.
Okay. I guess my question is, what would cause the engine to go from, the guy said it normally rides around 200 on the gauge, to drop, and now all of a sudden it won't get back up to 200 on the gauge?
Is the thermostat, I heard you say that you've replaced thermostats a couple times, but is the thermostat housing in good shape? Because like where the thermostat pops in the housing and
It's been
seals,
replaced.
the housing has been replaced?
Yes, the housing has been replaced.
The thermostat seal good?
I'm sorry, what?
Is the thermostat seal? Is it good? Is it not? It's not missing or anything like that?
Yes, everything in there is good.
So part of your story doesn't jive a little bit. You say you've covered up the radiator and it still doesn't get hot. The only way
It doesn't. It does not.
The only way that's possible is if the fan's running all the time.
And I would agree with that, except for the fact that I know the fan's not running. I mean, this engine will not heat up.
Yeah.
It's like it'll get to 188, and I mean, you can cover it up. It will not get any hotter than that.
Yeah. Sounds like a sensor problem, honestly, because physically the way that thermodynamics and all of those things work, right? Your engine isn't an anomaly. It has to be getting hotter if the cooling package isn't able to do its job. In other words, you covered it up.
I totally agree. Like I said, back in the wintertime, whenever it was cold out, I can't remember. I mean, what the temperatures were then, honestly, but put a winter front on it or cardboard, and it would not warm up. And like I said, I mean, on a hot day, you're pulling a trailer loaded, you would think that the engine would get hot enough that the fan would kick on, and it doesn't.
I'm not sure on that one, man. If you're blocking the radiator off and it's not getting warm,
I mean,
have you blocked
I'm a
it off?
mechanic.
Have you
You're a
blocked,
mechanic.
Have you blocked it off in the middle of summer?
Yes, we have.
And you're claiming
That engine will not. I'm telling you right now, that motor will not warm up. The fan will not kick on. It does not get hot enough for the fan to come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Charlie here. I have no clue because that doesn't jive with any known thing, right?
Right. Then that's where I'm at. I'm like, Jesus, man, I'm fucking lost.
But you're not talking about temperatures
So-
that I would worry about anyway. So I don't. I mean, it's a non-issue. Is part of the thing.
Gotcha.
yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time.
Have a good night, man, and good luck.
Yeah, we'll see you. Sorry, man.
Have a good evening.
You know, I don't want to say he's full of shit or anything, but I mean, it's just not possible, right? The only thing that makes sense is the sensor. It's the sensor they're reading is not working. But if you cover up a winter, you cover up your front in the summertime, that fucker's getting hot. I don't care whose engine it is in any application, that fucker's getting hot.
Yeah.
Especially if you're loaded up. Anyway, I don't want to sound like I'm calling him a liar. Something's not right. His scanner, I have no clue, but maybe he filled the coolant with R134. R134 gets hot as shit, man. You ever put your hand on your little pump there? Anyway, all right, we probably better hit him here.
Yep.
If I dropped your call, guys, it's because you're way past our cutoff here, but we still have 8 people. We'll go ahead and get to them. You're on the air, man. What can we do for you? Hello, you're on the air, brother. Looks like we got a Canadian here, but Sam from Canada, what's going on? Well, I'll throw him back in the queue and we'll go to somebody else. We're not on a very good roll tonight, Charlie.
Yeah.
Seems like everybody that calls, we can't really help them out. We're
I'm
sucking
getting
tonight.
a bunch of messages saying that it's really, really laggy.
Yeah, it's really laggy. I know that, but it doesn't take away from the fact we suck tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, you're on the air. What can we do for you?
Hello.
That's you, brother. Let's go.
So can you get a performance build on a M11?
Yeah.
You can pretty much do a performance build on any engine.
Okay. All right. So like in a motorhome application, you can probably get them up to like 475 or maybe even 500. So the only reason I ask, I got a little T450 dump truck. I really like the truck, but it'd be awesome to get some more horsepower out of it, and not trash the engine at the same time.
That's always the trick, isn't it, Charlie? What is the max horsepower, max CPL horsepower for an M11?
It's probably right there around the 450, 475. I'm not sure. He sounds like he probably looked it up.
No, I didn't. No, I remember it being like 435 or something like that. But in a motorhome application, if you could do like 500 horsepower and it would last. I mean, is that something you guys would build?
Once you get up to the max CPL, man, like really, when you get about 20, 25 over the max CPL, something's got to give, whether that's longevity or, fuel mileage, something's going down somewhere. So like I recommend that people put, they can build them up to the max CPL and then do something like a full tilt manifold, or maybe a better turbo or something, something after the engine, or before, getting colder air or whatever, those kind of things, just to help out.
Yeah, build your power.
Yeah.
Build your power with parts, not with tunes.
Yeah.
So does Hack Nation offer those parts and pieces, or no?
Yeah, of course. Of course. I mean, the trick is to figure out what CPL you're at and what you have to change to achieve what you're trying to do, and it can vary pretty widely. It could be, a couple $100. It could be pretty extensive. It just depends on, and I'm not sure too much because I mean we've rebuilt 4 or 5 M11s here, but I just don't have enough experience with them to be like, yeah, if you have this CPL, you got to change
Yeah.
it to this, and it requires you to do this, that, and the other. I just don't know that, but I do know the power, horsepower rating for those. It's pretty wide, like any other engine, isn't it, Charlie? You can have pretty low horsepower ones,
Especially when you
and
get them in
pretty
like
high
marine
rating.
applications, then they go way the fuck up there.
Yeah, they for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but this little truck, I mean, it doesn't weigh anything. So I mean, if you get some horsepower, you can really make some money with it. With your tonnage.
Yeah, you'd have to call. I mean, if you wanted us to look into it for you, you'd have to call the shop tomorrow and give us your engine serial number, and we'll take the time to figure it out for you for sure.
Sounds good. Appreciate your time.
Yep. Good luck with that thing, brother.
Yep. Have a good night.
Right. I agree with you unequivocally there, Charlie, that that's how we do our horsepower here. We go up to the max that we can, and then we really try to use hard parts to push the horsepower.
Yeah.
And that's why I really think this PDI's tuners, again, not trying to throw them under the bus every single show, but hey, last show I talked about their tuners quite a bit, and that's really why I think that those tuners are going to come back and haunt them, because they are pushing that envelope really far. They're at under, because so they go back to your stock tune and then push you out 100, 120, 150 horsepower, and man, that
without changing anything.
Right. And I'm already starting to see trucks come in here that are suffering from their tuners.
Yeah.
And I'm predicting, I'll predict on this show that those tuners are going to come back and bite them in the ass. They're going to, just like it did, 15 years ago when they were tuning everybody's trucks to the moon.
Yeah.
These are better than what they were doing, substantially better.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But they're still pushing them too far, I think. Anyway, 7 more callers. Charlie, let's try to get this Canadian back on here. If he didn't answer this time, we'll drop him. You're on the air, brother. What can we do for you? We got you this time? New dude boot it. I thought maybe if I talked to him in his language, he would. All right, we dropped him. On to the next guy. You're on the air. What can we do for you, brother?
Hello.
That's you.
Yep.
Oh. You can hear me or what?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Is it me?
man. Come on with it. Come on with it.
Yes, sir. No, I see a lot of things I'm a big N14 fan, and everybody says, the black top, red top. They always say you can take a black top to, say, a red top spec, but you don't really see videos on it, or actually like the parts you would really need to change, or, just kind of curious on that side, if there is an actual video out there, it'd be kind
of it's a little more extensive than people think it is. I don't think a guy could just throw a video out there and you could watch it and turn your black top into a red top. It takes some special tooling.
Okay.
I was going to show you.
I have most of the
It's way up there, but
do you have the timing tool? do you have the timing tool that goes in the top and to retime the entire engine?
Right.
First of all, you're gonna have to
Yes, sir.
you're gonna have to offset the keys. You're gonna have to offset your keyways. I can't remember which. I mean, I wouldn't know from here which way you'd have to go, and then you're gonna have to retime the whole thing. And you need to have some general knowledge on how to do all that. And
Yeah.
your ECM is different as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just more like the heads, they're all pretty much the same, and then right. I mean, I don't know if they have different heads. I know the crank rods. I mean, pretty much all of it's the same. It's all basically timing and your fuel trim and stuff like that, right?
Oh, I mean, yeah. There's, different injectors, different ECM. You got different turbo, different camshaft. No, the camshafts are usually the same. It's the key and how they're timed. It'll give you a part number of a key
Okay.
with the degree that's offset, like this way or this way. But it also has an arrow on the key, and it'll tell you face the arrow forward or face the arrow backward. And then you gotta take the fuel pump. Well, are we talking N14 or big cam? N14. Okay, yeah.
N14.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I thought the piston crowns were different too. Are they not different?
The pistons are different between different CPLs. Yeah.
So it's quite a bit different. It's quite a bit different, my friend. It's
Mhm.
not turbo and injectors and the biggest one that gets people is that ECM. It's a big expense there.
Yeah.
It's quite the endeavor. We do a lot of them here, actually. And it's always a spendy venture when guys want to do that.
Yep.
It's not nothing where you have to have the cams like remilled or nothing, right? It's already, or is it something you'd have to remill it to get the keyway in there, kind of thing, or just order a whole new cam, I guess.
No, the key is offset already. You just change.
Oh, okay. So it'll be like the blow gear, changing it, basically all the timing. Okay.
Yeah, that's
That'd be nice if someone would actually
that's the hard
do
part.
one from like.
Sure, but that's the hard part is you gotta pop the gear off. Oh, Charlie's got a key there.
I don't know if you can see the step in it. Probably not clear enough to see it.
No, we can see it great.
And then you got an arrow.
Yep. You got to pull your gear off to be able to install that. That can be a chore all by itself.
Yep.
Sometimes they don't. Well, occasionally we have to send the error sometimes.
Oh, okay. Well, shoot, I wish someone would actually do a video of it, like from zero to top, and shoot, I'd even sponsor that video. That'd be pretty neat because there's a lot of guys I know that talk about it.
I've got.
It can be done. I mean, I'm going to
videos.
study a bunch and try to figure it out myself, but
I've got a couple videos on this one right
Oh,
here
you do?
behind me. You'd have to go back a while. This one's been here for a long ass time.
Are those over on YouTube, Charlie?
Nope, they're on TikTok. I can do a YouTube one on it though. Might as well. I can show how to put the jig on it and everything.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's a big.
Well, here in my neck of the woods, I'm in North Dakota too, and yeah, I was always going to come up to your shop, check it out.
Oh yeah, swing on over here. I got this thing ready to put. I can show you it all too.
So maybe we'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Big fan of your guys' show and what both you guys are doing. Yeah, I just figured shoot that question out there, but no, I appreciate the help.
Yep. Good night, man, and good luck with that one.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're gonna go right into them, Charlie. We're way past the time here. We still have 5 people, and they are hanging on for dear life. You're on the air. What can we do for you?
Yes, sir. How you doing? How both of you guys doing?
Good.
Man, what can we do for you?
Okay, I got an older, no, not older. I got a 2012 Peterbilt with an ISX 15. One of the plastic trucks. I don't exactly remember the model.
Yep.
But I've fried a couple ECMs, and I'm trying to see what you guys take on the root of that what you guys think the root of that problem might be.
You're going through multiple ECMs. You said you fried them.
Yes, sir.
Well,
There's a place in Texas that I found actually on TikTok, and I sent him to him. He does a test on it, and he's telling me basically wherever my power comes in at, that however that works on the circuit board, it keeps frying out. This has happened 3 times already, and I'm kind of scared to drive the truck now because I mean it's no cause and it's no like you get no beforehand warning. It just dies going down the road, and this has ended up being my problem a couple times here.
and the next if that happens again, just give us a call. Just look that number up right there. It's probably not your ECM. It's probably something else causing you problems, and you're just replacing ECMs. I mean, if you got a short right there in the harness or the plug or something like that, or I'm not sure, I don't know, but for something to keep, I don't think that you randomly got multiple ECMs that just happened to go bad.
No, I could almost guarantee you.
Well, these have all been like I've only replaced it once, but this one ECM has been rebuilt twice. I mean, the truck is currently running and everything, but I'm just a little afraid.
Unfortunately, electronics being rebuilt isn't quite like these things being rebuilt. But it's not hard parts. I mean, there's a lot of rebuilt electronics. They just naturally just don't last as long. I mean,
okay.
Would you agree, Aaron? Would you think?
I don't know, Charlie. I mean, we do a lot of reman ECMs here. I buy a lot of them because the new one's just so unaffordable. And I've had awesome luck. I get all my reman ECMs. I don't even want to tell people in case they run out of them because I buy so many, but I get all my ECMs through Highway and Heavy Parts. I don't know where they get them from. I have no
Those
clue.
are all new internals, though, aren't they? A reman ECM.
Yeah, they're reman.
Usually,
yeah. New battery, and all that. That's a big one, especially on the older cats and stuff. That's the number one problem we see is the battery dies when we go to flash it or something, and it just fucking grenades the whole ECM. That's our most common ECM losses is batteries not being good, but. Like sending one out and having it rebuilt. I know there's a guy close to us, and I've thought about sending him some, but yeah, I'm a little scared to do that.
Yeah. See, in my head anyway, a reman ECM that you'd buy from Highway Heavy Parts, they probably have some sort of procedure where they're gonna take that ECM, they're going to replace this, and this, so that they can sell that to you. When I hear about somebody repairing an ECM, I think they disassemble it and they solder all, like they fuck with it a whole bunch, and it doesn't ever seem to work for us. Anything that goes out and gets repaired that's electrical, we can almost guarantee it's going to take a shit soon. For us.
And I haven't never done that.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to
just so
take a little bit more of a tackle at it and check out my wiring, maybe.
There's a guy in the comments saying he had the same kind of issues with the same company that you used. Just putting it out there.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Wow. Oh. Huh. And what was the name of that company you said you got something common and I didn't really know about it? Because, I mean, I got a couple other problems, like my Jake brakes don't come on at all. I mean, I can crank my truck without depressing the clutch, and For some reason, my AC, to turn it on and my dials and everything, I keep frying the board itself. I replaced that a couple times, so I know I got some type of wiring problem. But I was just wondering if it was more of a common thing, and it's just something that I wasn't, that wasn't something obvious or well known to me.
Our birds' heads keep falling off. Yeah, you have wiring issues, man. You're throwing money at the wrong thing. I think it's safe to say.
Start the batteries. Find, work towards your problem.
Oh, yeah.
You heard Charlie, but he said start at your batteries and work towards the problem, and you should be able to figure it out. You need to go back to the drawing board on that one and keep buying ECMs. Anyway, brother, we got quite a few people on hold we still got to get to, so we can go home. Anything else we can do for you?
No, that's it. I really appreciate it. You guys really gave me some insight here.
All right, sir. Have a good night and good luck. I hate wiring problems.
All right.
All right, Charlie. We got 4 guys left. Let's do them here. You're on the air. What can we do for you, brother?
Howdy, guys.
Hey.
Just quick question. I heard a little bit before here on the M11. What would you guys be in safe? Again, with CPL. I wish I would have had a number for you guys, but not that you guys will look up tonight. But what would you guys be safe? Metal. All like not just throwing tune that shit. They could blow up, but what would you guys be safe turning M11 up to?
I think they get up there around the 450 area right there.
Yeah. 475, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I'm at 430 right now.
Yep.
Do you know what the top end is on those, Charlie? I don't know.
I don't. It's right there though. They max out right there 450, 475 for on highway.
Somebody in the comments says 450 is max.
There you go.
All right. Well, I had a couple other questions, but I've been listening to you guys for quite a while now. But there's a different day, different night for that. You gentlemen have a great night, and thank you.
All right, man. Call back next week for sure. Thank you. We probably won't have as many callers next week if Charlie's not on here. They stacked up pretty hard on us.
That's
Your
right.
M11 will last longer at 430. That's a fact. I had a leaser. One of my leasers there when we were in North Dakota had a M11, and that thing was a little bare, but man, you loaded a water tanker up, 130 barrels. Jeez, that thing was. He was the last to arrive at all times. I certainly wouldn't want to be driving a truck with an M11. We got these couple people calling wanting to bump up the horsepower, but good grief.
Yep.
I hope you're not planning on doing anything too tough with it. You're on the air. What can we do for you, brother?
Hello.
That's you, brother.
Hey, I got a quick question, man, about an injector. I'm getting a light, but I'm not throwing no smoke, and I'm not sputtering. You think wiring harness or mechanics said possibly an overhaul to fix?
You're just getting smoke? Is that all you said?
No, I'm not. So I'm getting a light on the dash, but I'm not having any signs of. But I'm getting an injector 1 code.
Yep, have to overhaul it top to bottom out completely.
No. No,
No,
get
no, no, no,
somebody.
no. I'm talking about
somebody.
overhead. Overhead.
Yeah, I mean, you could have an over if your valves are that far out of adjustment, though. I mean, to throw a check engine light, I mean, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, usually a check engine light,
Yeah.
the check engine light's going to correlate to an electrical problem. You
Yeah.
have to, what Charlie means by that, and I'm assuming here, you would have to have a timing issue so bad the engine was noticing it was out of time. It's almost impossible to do it at the valves. Not impossible, but practically impossible. It's much more likely that you have a internal wiring harness problem that I would almost bet money. That's the money well spent if you're just trying to throw money at it to fix the problem.
Yeah. So if that injector was legit going out, it would throw smoke or it would sputter.
Not necessarily. I mean, a lot of times, yeah, but there's other times where the solenoid could be shorting out and it just picks it up, and it gives you three different fault codes. It'll be high current or high voltage, low voltage, or intermittent.
Yeah, you've already won. Yeah. You've already won half the battle. You have a check engine light.
Yeah, you just need to get it to a computer.
Yeah, you need to get it to a computer.
Yeah. I put it on the computer but I got that one from Harbor Freight and it says cylinder 1.
Yeah,
I'm still learning, so.
Get somewhere where they have cat ET.
Yep.
Is what Charlie was trying to tell you there. Guaranteed.
Yep.
And they'll, and you might find out that it is cylinder 1, but it's most likely not the injector itself if you're throwing a code for it, because the ECM under normal operating conditions doesn't really have a way to measure the mechanical function of the injector. Like when you're doing an injector cutout test on it, what it can measure though is if it's having some kind of an electrical issue, which is why
it tries to, and it's a calculated number. It's not an actual number. It's what it calculates off the other 5. When you cut that cylinder out, it uses what the other 5 are doing and tells you what it thinks that you lost there.
Okay.
So it's a makeup.
All right, I'll swing through them, and I ain't gonna. Yeah, I'll swing through them, and I ain't gonna hold you up too much longer. I just wanted to get your opinion on it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's money. The money best spent is getting to a cat ET computer and getting charged the hour for diagnostic, and it's going to save you a lot of money.
Yep.
Appreciate it, Aaron. Appreciate it, Charlie.
Yeah, we'll see you, man.
Okay, 2 more, Charlie. Let's go right into it. You're on the air. What can we do for you?
I'm just trying to figure out how to order a head and a turbo off of y'all.
If you're talking about our Hacknation line, you can go to hacknation.parts and do it there. You can call. You can call in and we'll help you that way. You can call Highway and Heavy Parts. You can call our shop, or you can just go right online if you know how know exactly what you're after.
Yep.
Well, I'm trying to get one of your heads and your turbos. What your recommendations are is for like a C15.
Yep.
A cert, and I know you've got the 2 different turbos that would go on there. What would your best perspective for that?
So we have a Garrett who supplies the OEM for that turbo. That's the cartridge that we're using, and then we use our housings on it that are ceramic, and they're on the website.
And I noticed one of your. Okay, I noticed you also say it's not China shit, so it's all U.S. That's what I want to hear.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, I also got one more question because I also had sent me to do the radiator because I knew I had a little pinhole in it, and I was the one that had the green antifreeze in it, and I added all red to it. So hopefully, I just want to know, like, do you install those the oil bypass system too on them websites?
No, I don't. I don't have a deal with anybody, which should tell you I'm being very genuine about my assessment on oil bypasses. I'm not selling any, right? but they don't make anything run cooler.
Okay.
What they do is they clean down to 1 micron, and your most high efficient, best filter on the market cleans to 20 micron.
Okay. You cut out there.
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Oh. All right. So just call the Hack Nation. It's all on the website there, right?
Yep, hacknation.parts. Those are pretty easy ones to find on there.
Yep.
Okay.
Your high pressure, low pressure turbo in the cylinder head. But if you can't figure it out, just give us a call tomorrow.
All right. That sounds great. I definitely appreciate you, Jaron.
Yes,
Yep.
sir. Have a good night and good luck.
All right. You do the same.
Bye. All right, we got one more. Let's do this.
Cool.
You're on the air, Ryan. What can we do for you, brother?
Hey, how's it going, guys? So, I was pulling a C15 cylinder head. I guess the guy who was operating the forklift was in a rush, and one thing led to the next. After we were done, I checked the block, and you know that oil port that's beside the dowel? I noticed it was bent. I didn't even try to straighten it or take up that spacer plate. I just covered the motor and I just came home. I just wanted to know on a scale of 1 to 10 how screwed am I?
The dowel
Or
is bent?
Dowel. Yeah, but you know that port there are 2 O-rings. The one goes on the bottom of the spacer plate and one goes on the top.
Yep.
Yeah, it's bent.
Yeah, you can
I just want to know if it's actually a dowel or.
Yep.
Oh, I can remove them.
Yep, they slide out of there. You just use a slide hammer and pull them out.
Oh, so I don't need to be worried.
Nope.
Oh.
So,
okay. Yeah, I was just pissed. And I just went.
A little piece of advice I might throw your way, though, is if you're going to go after it with a pair of vice grips or something like that, you might cause more problems than solving the problem. It's probably worth the 1 or 2 day wait to get on Amazon and get a dowel pin remover. It's like Charlie just said, it's a slide hammer mechanism. We have 2 or 3 of them here. Nothing can take the place of using that. No amount of vice grips and hammers and pry bars and cussing and grinders can take the place of the actual tool for that. You put it on there, you give it a whack, it comes out, everything's clean, everything's beautiful. And those are readily available parts from Cat. You can get a new one from Cat, no problem.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna get the block counterboard, so I'm just gonna have the machinist. He's got to have a sliding hammer, I assume.
Yep.
So I guess you can take it out. All right, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yep.
No problem, man.
Night, man. Don't lose
Thanks, you too. Thank you. Good night. Bye.
Our fucking machinist always forgets to give us back all the dowels.
Oh, yeah.
We've got pretty good at manipulating them. Anyway, man. Well, I appreciate you hanging out quite a bit longer than we were scheduled to, but about as long as it took us to get started, I suppose.
Yeah. Yep.
What a shit.
All right,
that's
dude.
Funny. The only problem with bending them sideways is, the hole tends to get messed up.
Yeah.
But usually you'll be fine. But man, I appreciate coming on here. It's pretty choppy.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm not sure if that's on my end or what.
Well, considering my track record, we'll just say no. But I mean, we're not having any problems now. It just seems like it comes and goes, which tends to make me think it's probably on my end, with the satellite internet. Cloud goes over who knows what. It's really weird because I have Starlink on my sailboat and we'll get out underway and all that. And man, you can be playing Call of Duty on there and 3 kids streaming Netflix and everybody's on their phones and they don't miss a fucking beat. So I don't know. I don't get
crazy.
it. You think stationary, and we have the satellite dish on top of the shop. You would think that this place would just be beaming.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
We
sucks.
have
It is
this
what it
place has a freaking on the other side of there. It's like a big ass computer room with like servers and shit in there, and like the internet is like instantaneous here. But I don't know if it's still on our end or what. Because
No, I doubt it.
It did this last time too.
Yeah, I had really bad internet last time. No, I
Yeah.
think it's probably on my end, but do a live from the water. What would you charge a ceramic coat and oil pan? I mean, you can pretty much ceramic coat anything,
Yep.
but I don't know why you want to ceramic coat a oil pan. Anyway, speaking of that, Charlie, when you gonna try out some of my shit?
I don't know, man. That would have been cool getting a freaking coated turbo for this.
Yeah,
This thing's
if you
nice,
want
dude.
if you want to do anything like that, hit me up and
Yeah.
I'll take care of you. You know what I'm getting
right.
at.
Yep.
We'll just do something stock and I'll just coat it here,
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Do a remote show from Charlie's, man, then I'd have to go back to North Dakota. Don't make me do that.
Yeah, it's about to get fucking cold up here.
Yeah,
it was frozen
no
this morning.
Oh, was it? And it's it was 90. I was swimming in the pool yesterday. It was 93 degrees. And
what did you happen to watch the toolbox tour video on YouTube of my box?
Me? No.
Yeah. So in the video I said, because the guy that was doing the video asked me, he said, "Does it get cold up here?" And I said, "It gets really cold up here." I said, "It gets like 50 to 60 below zero." So like it's been 50 to 60 below zero. And in the comment section, there was people that are like, "It doesn't get that fucking cold there. We're way up like north of the border and shit." Like they're all chewing me out, and I'm like, "Fuck, I don't know what to tell you guys. I have no idea." I literally know people that come down from Alaska, and they say, in Alaska, when it's 60 below zero, it's just 60 below zero. When you get to North Dakota, it might be 30 below zero, and then it picks up the wind, and now you're like fucking 80 below zero or some shit with the wind chill.
Yeah, if you add in the wind chill, North Dakota gets colder than any place I've ever been on planet Earth.
Oh yeah.
In Alaska, the coldest I ever saw in Alaska was 63 below, and it was dead calm.
Yeah.
Like there's zero wind. That's an actual. It's literally 63 below, but that is not it's still colder in North Dakota.
Yeah.
That wind go right through you and out the other side. It don't matter what you're wearing. It don't matter how you're. It don't matter. It kicks your ass.
Yeah.
North Dakota is something else. And if you look the way the weather pattern goes, it goes like this and goes through Canada and dips down into North Dakota, then comes back out.
Yep.
So North Dakota is like the armpit of the world when it comes to getting its ass kicked by bad weather.
Yep.
So you can be on a state on either side of it and not experience near the extreme weather that North Dakota gets. It just God shit on that state.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. North Dakota is cold, man. But yeah, I don't miss it either. Have you ever been to the Mid-American Truck Show?
No, I was trying to go this past year. And what was it, March? I think. I can't remember. This last one anyway, but
yeah,
we're going
to
make it down this week or this year.
Are you? I have a 20 by 20 booth already paid for and reserved there. I'm going to be down there and doing all my thing.
Sweet. Hell yeah, man.
So cool. Yeah, that's why I was asking if you were going, because I'd like to see you. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll see what I can do.
But anyway, man, you've already given us enough for your night.
Yeah, no problem, man. We'll see you guys in a little while.
You live pretty upper. Hi.
Oh, now you froze.
Yeah, you lagged out real bad.
All right, man.
Yeah. Do you live pretty close to the shop?
2 miles north of here.
Nope. Oh, not bad at all. All right,
Okay,
man.
we'll talk to you later, guys.
Well, we'll see you soon. Thank you, man, for coming on. Thank you on behalf of everybody else that doesn't have a way to tell you. I love you long time. We'll see you soon, Charlie. We'll follow up with you here in a day or two. I'm sure my media guy that I have helping my nephew helping me in house will follow up with you. Thank you.
Yep, we'll see you, dude. Bye.
Later.